Okay, welcome everyone. I'm Config Jason. This first video will be dedicated to answering a really common question everyone makes at the start of their crypto journey. So, how to actually get started? There's just so much to it. And the first thing you need to answer to yourself is, what are your goals? What do you want to make out of this? I'll be commenting on the various levels and I'll be giving some piece of advice for each of them. And I structure it in three levels. The first one being buy and forget, or buy and leave. You are not planning to make it, but you just want to have a place to store some money. You just want to maybe learn along the way, maybe make some friends. So as I said, your responsibilities here are, in first place, keeping track of the general market. I mean, stocks, since crypto is correlated to traditional markets. Not extensively, but you want to get some sort of general idea, like, are we in a recession? Are rates high, low? Are we in quantitative easing? Are we in quantitative tightening? So this may sound complicated, but in the end, it all comes down to, you don't want to buy euphoria and you don't want to sell fear. It can sound really hard, but that's why you need to manage risk. Don't invest what you can afford to lose entirely. And don't take entirely as a joke. You're literally one step away from losing it all. One bad step, of course. And sometimes that this step is really hidden, since the amount of people that have held funds on FTX, Celsius, BlockFi, Voyager, Anchor. Hindsight is really easy to say, yeah, don't lend your funds for a 15% APY. But a few months back, this was nowhere near obvious. No one was talking about this, or almost no one. And as a beginner, maybe you're gonna say to me, but I wanna make more money. And no, your goal when you get into crypto is not to make money. You want to preserve capital, you want to survive, especially in a bear market. So you want to learn along the way, as I said. I think some of these things are really important, and you want to be aware that you can be learning them the hard way, and you'll probably end up learning them the hard way. It's just how it is. Most people end up learning the hard way. There's no shortcut in most cases. The third one gonna be quite specific, but please avoid paid groups. Like, just whatever leads you to make any uneducated decisions, just avoid it. There's really a lot of crap. And finally, you gotta know how to use self-custody services, wallets, and exchanges. Just get familiarized with this to move money around, basically. And this is all what concerns your responsibilities. I'm also going to comment on a few lessons that I've learned along the way. So first one would be, at this stage you're learning market mechanics and trying to make some money on the side. So please don't mess around with those. I don't do it myself because of the commitment you need to give them. You need to be researching. You need to be aware of what's happening. You need to keep track of certain coins, and that for me is not really exciting. It's not really my passion within crypto. If for some reason you don't want to follow that rule, just make sure you don't use leverage and don't marry your bags. You want to have a clear entry. You want to have a clear exit, a clear invalidation. So yeah, you're likely to go bust if you don't follow these two simple rules. And most of my drawdowns come from leverage use. So yeah, just follow this. Do know though, I'm not against leverage, but for you as a beginner, I'd rather stay away in this step one. And the second lesson would be, tend to avoid watching the market too much. You don't want to take any uneducated decisions again based on greed or fear. Just check your bags every, I don't know, every month, every 2 weeks. You just go and touch grass. Just go and enjoy the rest of your life. You don't need to be addicted to the market for now. And with this, we just move on to level two, in which you like the market, you like how they work, you understand, and you decide to increase your commitment. You're motivated enough to make some money, more than in stage one. So, your next step here would be learning in depth market mechanics, how markets work, how markets move. I say generally by using TA. This is debatable, of course, but it can also be fundamentals. It can be whatever you think makes you understand better how markets work. And depending how you want to focus this edge, you'll need to use different concepts and tools. It's clearly not the same thing to trade always based on news than to wait for an entry on BTC on the 4-hour chart with X confluence on macro releases, or I don't know. And to a bit to network, I'm willing to cover this more in depth because I quite like the topic. But from my own experiences and in short, Twitter is a harder place to grow in, and instead you want to be starting on Discord, start small, and from there at some point just move with your friends on Twitter and make it together so you have somewhat of a base. But again, this is the short form of what I want to cover in the future. And inside networking, it's really important to know who you're following. If in stage one you don't really care about the market, in stage two you want to be aware of who's more important and who is a grifter and who is not, just to avoid additional drawdowns. In bull, okay, you can make money, but in bear, just avoid them at all costs. But of course, when the music stops in bull, you are fucked too. So it can make a really big difference. Again, I'm not gonna cover on who you have to follow and who not. That's stuff you learn yourself. You just need to make these decisions and need to understand well who you're following and who you're taking lessons from. And three, you just need to have a lot of screen time. Need to practice if you want to trade a 4 hour chart on BTC because that suits your time commitment you want to give it. You, like in stage one, you need to dedicate all your time to practicing the 4 hour chart. Or let's say you want to be an on chain analyst, you need to use the network in your favor to know what to look at and get better, improve, take advice from your network. And don't forget you're still in learning phase, so you may well make some money and lose some money, especially if you're following this entire process in bear and not in bull. I said it 3 times already, but in bull everything goes faster. But the odds you round trip, you give it all back, you donate it to the market are also higher. And the third and final layer of crypto space is to give back to the community. It's not really big in my opinion, it's like quite small. You wanna be maybe making a project or you'll be creating content, just like me. In my opinion, this is the most rewarding stage of them all. But for the sake of making money, of course, a lot of people get in without having the genuine passion for improving this float space. Also, I'll be giving some advice. And the first one is to understand the depth of crypto Twitter. In the end, we're all humans. We all shitpost and try to be fun. You gotta know when to be off topic more than on topic. Sometimes, like, of course, this is debatable again. Maybe you're just trying to make it and you don't care about friends, but in my opinion, it's better to have friends. It's better to socialize within crypto. If you want to build something with real use case, don't go building, making a plain NFT collection or selling your rock to whoever you can. Build something with a use case, just and then don't sell yourself. We all have a price, but don't find yours. Don't try to find it. I mean, if you're in this space and you really like the industry, money will end up coming to you. You don't need to look after it. And to conclude, I want to also note on a few other details. First one, I'll explain all of this into depth in future episodes, like individual episodes with each point I've mentioned in this video. So this is just getting started. I'm trying to put up every piece of knowledge I can. And the second one would be just give me feedback anywhere. I don't care where. I reply to you. Just give me that feedback because I know I can improve a lot. So just need more people to indicate me what I need to do. And that pretty much concludes this first episode. I think I made it clear what is the journey, and hope to really hope to see you in the next one. Peace.